I had another visit to my favorite local coin shop, and I bought several world coins that were silver below their silver spot price, and that's going to be everything in the row on the far left. And when I get to them, I'll show you what I paid. I'll show you what the spot price was that day and how much their melt value was on that day. And we'll get to all that, but there are some other coins that are also purchased from the shop that day on the screen, and we're going to look at those also. The store does have a loose bin, and they didn't have a whole lot added to it this time from my previous visit, so I don't have a lot of loose coins to show you. But we're going to start with this Poland 50 groszy. It's fairly common, but I picked it up because I thought it would be an upgrade to my collection. Turns out it wasn't. But this one is from 1977. It's catalog Y48.1. It lasted most of the People's Republic of Poland time, which was, this coin was made from 1957 to 1985. And then there was a second version of this coin where there was a redesign of the eagle on this side. I do want to point out the Warsaw Mint mark, which is here underneath that right talon. Here's another coin I bought to be an upgrade. This one is from the Germany Empire. It's the 1 pfennig coin. These were made out of copper from 1890 to 1916. But then they switched to aluminum for 1916 to 1918 and 1917. Shown here is the most common year that you're going to find on these. The mint mark shows up twice on either side on the bottom. That A mint mark does mean Berlin. Catalog number on this one is KM24. This coin books for $2. Most of the coins from Colombia are going to honor Simón Bolívar, but not this one. This one is going to be a 20 or 20 centavos. For this 1 year, the coins feature Jorge Eliezer Gaitan. In Colombia, he was a party leader. He was likely to be voted the president during the election that particular year, but he was assassinated before the election. And so the result of that was a series of riots called the Shaking of Bogota. And that was followed by a decade of political violence between the political parties. This coin is catalog KM224. And this coin was made probably about 25 years or so after he was killed. We'll move to a coin from Denmark, and I picked this one up just because it has a pretty good book price on it. This one is a 1 ore. It's in decent shape for a coin that is this old. Date's really tiny on there, but it says 1915. Has the monogram of Christian X, the C with an X topped by a crown. These were made from 1913 to 1923 out of bronze, and then it was made out of iron during World War I. Catalog number KM817.1. This coin books for $10. If you found this coin from 1917, it would be worth 5 times as much. It's amazing how sometimes I can find a coin that I've never seen before, and then you see 2 of them in the same bin, so I went ahead and picked up both of them so I could bring them home and decide which one I liked more. These are both dated 1937. It's from Bulgaria. It's a 50 statinki. Catalog number on this is KM46. This comes from the Tsardom of Bulgaria, when the Tsar was Boris III, who ruled from 1918 to 1943. And on the right, it features the way the Bulgarian coat of arms looks at that time, featuring a lot of crowned lions. So you have a couple of lions wearing crowns holding a shield with a lion and a crown, and then a crown on top of that shield. The store has recently put out another bin of carded coins. Now, these are the coins that in many cases are the same coins that you find in the loose bin, but they charge $1 for them. And so normally I don't even bother going through it, but since I didn't find much in the loose bin, I went ahead and spent some time going through the carded coins, and I found 5 coins that I was happy to pick up. So our first coin is going to be this aluminum coin. This is the first coin of South Vietnam. And I'll come back to this side. It's going to be a tin sou featuring a rice plant. There were 3 coins made during the time where it was called the State of South Vietnam, where they had the Emperor Bao Dai. And all 3 of those coins feature the 3 allegorical figures of the ladies represented here. And so each lady represents the culture of one of the 3 grand divisions of Vietnam. So one of them represents Tonkin, one of them represents Anan, and one of them represents Cochin China. So this coin is catalog KM1. And the catalog says in MS63 condition, it's worth $3. Got a few coins from Gibraltar. This one is from 1984. And I think all these are going to have the same portrait of Queen Elizabeth on it. This one is the 10 pence. And originally the 10 pence coin was a larger design. So when they went to the smaller size 10 pence coin, they also changed the design. But here in this year of 1994, they went back to the previous design, which features a fortified tower of a Moorish castle. One other thing that you see on Gibraltar coins, but not most places, is a die mark, which right here is AA, there at the very bottom. This coin is catalog KM 23.2, and the 0.2 is because of the reduced size. We've got another Gibraltar 10 pence coin. This is pretty much the same design. This is the design that was made for from 2005 to 2011. On here it's going to say the Great Siege of 1779 to 1783. The siege was, of course, this is Gibraltar, and so the siege happened during the United States Revolutionary War, and Spain and then later France decided maybe Britain was a little bit distracted and couldn't focus on Gibraltar, and so they attempted a siege. Apparently sieges happened in Gibraltar somewhat frequently because of its important strategic location. But on this coin we have, you can see there's a cannon pointing downward. That is called the Koehler Depressing Carriage. It was invented in 1782 specifically for this siege. So if you think that you're going to be on a high military bluff and you need a cannon that fires downward, this is what you're going to need. So it was invented out of necessity, and that's the cannon that's featured here. This coin is catalog KM 1082. So a big catalog difference, number difference than the last one. And in about a decade, we went from a double-digit to a 4-digit catalog number. So here we have a different 10 pence coin. This one's dated 2004. This one comes from a series called 300 Years of British Occupied series. And so this one's going to highlight Operation Torch from 1942. You can see the Rock of Gibraltar there in the background. We've got 3 military people. This is generally regarded as a generic 3 military officers, but the Gibraltar National Archives go into detail about who ought to be represented here. They weren't necessarily drawn to look like them, but this would represent 3 specific people. First of all, in the center, you're going to have Dwight Eisenhower, future United States president, future person who appears on the dollar coin in the 1970s. But at this time, he was the lieutenant general. He was the commander-in-chief during Operation Torch. On the left, we have British Lieutenant General Kenneth Anderson. He was the commander of the Eastern Task Force. And then on the right, we have Major General George S. Patton, who was the commander of the Western Task Force. And so the 3 of them are gathered together. The Gibraltar at the time, Operation Torch, was where the Allied forces used Gibraltar as their headquarters. They were fighting the Axis powers in North Africa. So the 3 of them got together to plan their strategies here in Gibraltar. That coin was dated 2004, and it became the regular circulating design in 2005 to 2011 on the 2-pence Gibraltar coin. That coin was cataloged KM 1047. So here's an actual 2-pence coin, which was about the same size as the last one, but has a copper look to it. Same portrait of Elizabeth. This one's going to feature the diamond wedding on a 2-pence. So it's kind of an interesting design. I don't think I'd seen this design on any other coin. So it's going to call it the diamond wedding, and for them the definition of that is the 60th anniversary of Queen Elizabeth and Phillip. Now, oddly enough, when you look up this coin on Numista, it's catalog KM 1080, by the way. When you look it up on Numista, there's a note on there that there is a possibility that this is an unauthorized coin, that Queen Elizabeth or as ruler of Britain never actually meant for this coin to be produced, never asked for it to be produced, so it would be an unauthorized issue. And I did an internet search, and I asked AI, can you clarify that? And it didn't find any other sources to say that, but did note that the Gibraltar coins at the time were not made by a government mint, but were instead made by the Tower Mint. That was a private company, and so sometimes the Tower Mint would just do whatever they wanted and didn't ask for permission first. And so that may have been what happened for this particular coin. So now I'm going to zoom out for a little bit. We're going to show off a coin sets of all nations. I'll want to see one of these every so often. I'll buy one. This might be my 4th one or so. This was a product, a monthly subscription product made by the Franklin Mint. I believe it started in the late 70s, lasted through the early to mid 1980s. And over time, they went around to a lot of the smaller countries around the world and asked for the mint to produce for them some collector coins. So they would take all of the circulating coins of that year and put them together into a package like this. They would also take one stamp. They would have the stamp canceled right here. And then the goal was after you would collect these for several years, you would get the complete sets of essentially all the nations. And to note, since the Franklin Mint put this together at the time, they were actually creating the coins for several different countries, so they could just ask themselves for these coins. And oftentimes they go for $10 or more when you see them on eBay, so I think $5 is a good price. But this one is from the Republic of Seychelles, like it says right here. Seychelles was ruled by the British for a while, but by this point they had their own autonomy. The back of all these coins are essentially the same, so we're going to focus on the coat of arms from the largest coin so we can see it the best. So I think, to me, the most noticeable thing is around the middle we have a couple of swordfish, although they call it sailfish. There is a shield in the middle, and the shield features I think they call it there's a tortoise at the bottom, right here. And then the palm tree, which is the double coconut palm tree. It's topped by a helmet right here, and then the bird that's flying above it is the white-tailed tropic bird. So let me flip this over and we'll look at the other side. Half of these I didn't have in any form, but we're going to start with the 1 cent coin. It features a mud or a mangrove crab. And then the 5 here features I guess it's pronounced the manioc plant. Then the last of the brass-colored coin is going to be the 10 cents, which features a tuna fish. Come up here to the 25. This is probably the coin out of here I've found the most often. The 25 cents features the black parrot. The 1 rupee features a Triton conch. And then the 5 rupees features a better look at the Coco de Mer palm, which is known as the double coconut tree. Apparently this species of coconut only appears in Seychelles. So next up, I also picked up a Japanese mint set. So instead of attempting to read all that, we're going to come around to the prettier side. It does say 1993 right here. I did pay $30 for this. The Krause catalog says that this mint set, which is MS35, books for $28. At least that's what they said in their last catalog. And so the text that runs along the bottom right here says that this includes the commemorative 500 yen copper nickel coin for the wedding of His Imperial Highness, the Crown Prince. And then we have that on top of a purple chrysanthemum background. So let us open the flap on this box. It does give us the list off all of the coins that we're about to look at on here. We're only going to focus on the 1 commemorative coin that we don't really see all that often. But here's a look of the entire set. You can pause if you want to see that side or this side. And I will zoom in and show every coin specifically. We'll go up. We've got the regular 1 yen. This one is the 5. Here we have the 10. And then the 50. The regular 100. The normal circulating 500. We don't see these nearly as often. We have what they call a rhombic plate, which only purpose was to show us the year was 1993, which was also the year of the rooster, so they have the rooster on here. And then we'll come back to the primary coin here, but let's go back to, here's the back of the 1 and the 5. And then the 10. The 50, the This is a mint set, not a proof set, although this one I thought was the shiniest. Here is the 100. And then the normal circulating 500. And then the back of the mint token. All right, so let's now talk about the primary coin on here. It is a 500 yen, so there is a 500 yen here written at the bottom. The text that goes across the top translates to the wedding of His Royal Highness, the Crown Prince. Then we have a chrysanthemum, that's the circle in the middle, and the flowers that go around it are Azusa sprigs. The Crown Prince at the time was Naruhito, who is now the Emperor. And we flip that one over. And it features a couple of herons flying over some waves. The catalog number on just this coin is Y number 107. And I think this coin did circulate, so it's not only going to appear in the mint and proof sets. The rest of this video is going to be the silver coins, or at least they're going to be the coins that I picked up from behind the counter. I've got one more non-silver coin left to talk about. And I was looking for silver, but this one caught my eye and was fairly cheap. This one is going to be from Finland. I'd never seen this design before, because it didn't last for very long. And it was only $2, so I did go ahead and pick this one up. Here you can see it's dated 1941. We've got a rosette at the top, and then a bow holding some flowers there at the bottom. This coin was made from 1941 to 1943, and then in the middle of the year, for the war effort, they switched to iron. It's a 10 pennia, and this side features a couple of more rosettes. Catalog number on this one is KM33.1. The .2 version of this coin has the hole which was not punched out of the middle. That version is very rare because while the mint made a few of them, they were not authorized to leave the mint, and so they were illegally removed from the mint. So anyone that is ever seen is one that was essentially snuck out of the mint when it wasn't supposed to. So now we're up to the silver coins, and the coins that we're going to look at here, I've got 5 of them. They add up to over an ounce, and these are the coins that I bought at silver when it was close to it's the most I had paid for silver spot. And this was in middle of January. And historically, for those of you who don't remember what silver did in January, had gone on about a 2 or 3 month just straight up price. And this was in the middle of when it was still going up. The last time I had bought coins, it was only $64. And then by this day in January, silver was up to $93 an ounce. It ended up making it past $110 before it fell back down. The day I'm recording this, of course, I don't know what's going to happen in the future, but the day I'm recording this, silver has now fallen back down below $80 an ounce. And so these are the only silver coins that I bought at spot above what it is today. However, I don't think they intended to sell these coins at spot because they were behind the counter. It just so happened that when you add all of them up, I got them below spot price because they just didn't have a chance to go through there and keep upping the price on all their coins. I'm sure they made a profit on all of these, although they may have had a profit, left some profit on the table if they had raised the price. We have more from Finland, so we're going to start with this one from 1916. It's a 50 pennia. This coin is 75% silver, so it has a silver melt weight of 0.0615. I paid $5 for it. The melt price that day was $5.69. But instead they had it priced at the 2019 book price. Catalog number on this one is KM 2.2. This is the second version where it has a dentulated edge. That's what you call where you have all the little bumps that go around the edge. The earlier version, it was dotted, where there were dots going around it that were separated from the rim. While that previous Finland coin was during the Republic, this one is from the Grand Duchy of Finland when they were still controlled by Russia. So their Duke was the King of Russia, who is also Duke Nicholas II. And on here we see, this is essentially straight up Russian symbolism. We've got the crowned imperial double eagle holding a scepter and an orb. But then I think it adds the Finland with the rampant lion there on the middle of the shield. So that part is Finland. The rest of it is the look of Russian coins. This one is KM 2.2. Next coin is also from Finland. This one is the 1 mark. Dated 1907. And even though this one has twice the denomination, the last one was half a mark, this one is a full mark, it has more than twice as much silver in it. This one is 0.868 fine, which is a weird fineness. I don't remember seeing that before. And so a melt weight of 0.1446 ounce. And so I paid $15 for it. On this day, melt was $13.39. So we're back to the same Russian symbolism on this side. This coin's a little bit more well worn, so you can't see it as well. But I will point out that this one is called the with crown version. So just a few years after this, Finland went through a civil war where they separated themselves from Russia control. And during that time, the crown up here was not part of the coin, so that was just an empty space. But let's look at the words that are written around the edge on here. You'll see 94.48. And so this is a kind of Russia at the time for you, oddly specific. The words on here translate to 94.48 pieces from 1 pound of fine silver. What they mean by that is 1 pound of silver was turned into 94.48 coins, which seems oddly specific. And so it's I've seen them listed out of an ounce, but for them to say how many you would get from 1 pound of silver, I thought that was kind of interesting. This coin had a total mintage of 350,000. It's KM 3.2. So our next coin is the heavy hitter as far as silver weight. Going to come from the Duchy of Baden, which became part of the German Empire. So this has German Reich, date 1912. They weren't yet part of the German Empire. They're still making their own coins, but Dre 3 mark on this silver coin. So I paid $25 for this coin. This might be the worst condition silver coin of the lot, but it has almost half an ounce of silver in it, and I paid $25. It's 90% silver, and the melt value that day was $44.66. The ruler was Duke Frederick II, who ruled from 1907 to 1918. And below his neck is a G mint mark. That is the Karlsruhe mint. There were 835,000 of these made, and its catalog KM 280. The silver weight, if I didn't say it, was 0.4823 ounces, so almost half an ounce. It had lost $10 in value since the day I picked it up, but it's still less than what it's still worth $10 more than what I paid for it. This next one is going to be from Norway. It's going to be a 2 kroner. It features the portrait of Håkon VII, Norway's king. Then it has their motto, Alt for Norge, which translates to everything for Norway. This coin has a lot of scratches on it, so while it has pretty good details, it may have been cleaned. A lot of neat details on this side. This is the coin I paid the most for. I paid $40 for it. This one had a mintage total of 377,000. This is the side where we see that it's a 2 kroner. It's 80% silver, so that is a silver weight of 0.3858. So on the day I bought it, it had a silver weight or silver melt value of 35.72. So in the middle we have a shield, and it's showing a lion holding a halberd, topped by a crown. And then the St. Olaf chain, or Order of St. Olaf chain, is going around it. And then around that, we have 6 more shields representing 6 different cities. So this one with the castle is, and I'm probably going to mess up these names, but this top one is Bergen. The one with the lion and tree right here is Christiansand. The one with the bird is going to be Hamar. I guess that's a moose, so it's going to be Tromsø. This next one is going to be Trondheim. And then the one with the city I've heard of, Oslo. There were 377,000 of these made, and the catalog is CAM 370. Our last silver coin is going to come from the Vatican City. I did pay $30 for it. This one is 0.835 silver, silver weight of 0.2953. And on this day, the melt value was 27.34. We'll come back to that sign in a moment. But here it says, in Latin, Sede Vacante, which essentially means vacant seat. So anytime there is no pope, they will say that they're in the Sede Vacante, vacant seat. And they've actually made some commemorative coins for the period of time between popes. So this was after Pius XII, before John 23rd. And since they don't have an actual pope at this time, this is going to feature the arms of Cardinal Benedetto Aloisi Masella. And then on this side, we have a dove flying in front of the sun with the words Veni Sancte Spiritus, which is Come Holy Spirit. Now, unfortunately, this one, you can't really see the edge lettering on it here, but it also has the name. The official name of Vatican City is what it says right here, Stato della Città del Vaticano. And that is written around the edge on this coin. It's a 500 lira. Catalog number is Y57. There were only 100,000 of these made. And so if we stop for a moment, the total price that I paid for all 5 of these silver coins was $115 on the day where spot was $93. The melt price that day was 126.80. And so I would have gotten them as a collection combined for spot price if spot was $80. Now, the day I'm recording this, it's in the 70s, but it still is the only silver coins that I've purchased at spot where the spot was higher than it is today. All right, thanks for watching, and I've been to some more shows and made some other pickups, so I'll catch you in the next video. So until then, bye.